rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go, let's go.
Figgy Feed, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rock, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go in the jacuzzi, smoking threats. I got my feet up. Cut them haters off, I told them beat it. I don't need you. Spend 50 racks in cash, but it's all good. I got my visa. This rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa. My ghetto, Nikeisha. I beat it like a creature. She always like my sneakers. These Jordan 5 pink aces. Let's go. I'm knocking them down, baby, back in the row. He really the one.
But they already know.
So all of my chains go put on the show.
Giving up gins, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. Need to back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80s. We really 10-toe down on the pavement. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Go, let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone if we still consider the Astros cheaters?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Teach your man how to squabble. Get that trigger next time, nigga.
Qualified.
Memories. It was all good just a few months ago, man. We had the Cougars in the national championship game. A few years ago, we had the Astros in the World Series. Still got my World Series champs.
Yeah,
right here. And the Texans, after that exciting C.J. Stroud rookie year, looked like they were on the up and up. You know, won division again last year. And it looked like everything was going on the up and up, man. Rockets got Kevin Durant. Looking like a new golden era for Houston sports. Then it all has come crashing down, man. That video just triggered me. And I was thinking about all the good times and where we're at right now. And
I need to cue that. What's the music when they play whenever a soldier or a cop die? That.
Yeah. RIP Houston sports 2017 to 2025. And yeah, it's I mean, look, it's not actually, it is kind of all doom and gloom. The Astros aren't technically out of it yet. They still got a chance to make it in the wild card. The Houston Rockets, look, at least they got time to do something about Fred VanVleet's injury before the season starts. I don't know what they can do, but hopefully something. The Texans, I don't know, man. I don't know what you do at this point. 4 games in almost.
Yeah.
So,
how you feel about that, man? Because you kind of work the master controls for our radio, the Texans radio network, and all that. So, how do they sound on the air? Like, do they sound a little worried or kind of doom and gloom? How did that sound?
There's frustration, but there's also, well, we've been here before. You know, it's not like, I can't believe we're this bad. It's more like, I think it's a little disbelief, but also it's, well, we've been here before, you know. And the truth is, we've been through seasons as bad as this and maybe even worse. We don't know how it's going to shake out in the future. But, I mean, the fact is, Mark has called some horrible Texans seasons and horrible Texans games. And Andre has too, and they still get upset when bad stuff happens, of course, but there's kind of a resignation of, well, you know, and that's kind of how you have to be. You can't get too worked up over these things, especially when you get older, you know, man, people got high blood pressure. So it's like you got to just take it in stride a little bit. And I think that's kind of what they're doing, but they are obviously annoyed that the Texans are 0-3 when we thought they would be much better than this. But what can you do?
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I ain't even want to hear how they sounded at the end of the last game when CJ threw that interception and it was over.
Yeah.
Oh man. And this
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it was ugly, man. And I feel bad for you guys doing the weekly shows because you gotta, with nothing else but baseball, which is not going well either. This is all you got to talk about is the Texans and that disappointing loss. And it's hard to even be optimistic for the future right now because this offense is, I've been doing the Texans games. I've watched a lot since they've started. It's one of the worst offenses I've seen so far ever, honestly. Who thought that scoring 2 touchdowns would be too much for this team to do, man? Like, I don't know if I've ever seen it look this bad and ugly. And it has been this bad before, but just with the talent on the team and with CJ, you just thought it would be a lot better. But
yeah, I feel like this is the wrong time to have a bad offense like this, man, because you know how we felt about CJ Stroud, his rookie year and all that stuff. Thought you had a franchise quarterback, and now you kind of seeing some of his bad times. He had a bad, I don't want to say bad year, but it was definitely a down year from his rookie year. And now it's looking even worse. And then now you got contract talk around the corner. So, we was pointing and laughing at Jacksonville for paying Trevor Lawrence and being a average or mid-ass quarterback. It's looking like it could be the same thing here. So I know there's a lot of fingers to point and all that stuff, which was the same with Trevor Lawrence. Urban Meyer, his first year, that didn't go well. Doug Peterson, that didn't go well. It was a lot of finger pointing. And that's kind of what it is now, where it's like, oh, it's the offensive line. He ain't got a lot of receivers and the play calling. It seems like it's a lot of excuses. I'm really worried that, damn, maybe that rookie year was a flash in the pan. And I think the Texans, they're at a point where I think any team kind of like this, they ain't just gonna let them walk. You ain't just gonna let them walk out the door and let's find another quarterback or anything like that. You gotta pay him. I don't know how much they're gonna pay him, but you gotta pay him. So I think this is the worst time to be in that situation, because if it was a quarterback that ain't the franchise quarterback, you could just kind of focus on the draft and get another one or something like that. But you ain't thinking about another quarterback. And this is just one half of the coin right here. I don't even want to get to the whole CJ side of it, where maybe he's unhappy and maybe he might get a little irritated like Deshaun Watson got irritated. And maybe his team is David Mulligetta. Maybe they're going to try to force their way out. And he's a California boy. And maybe
we'll talk about that too.
maybe he's trying to get to the Rams. I don't know. Matt Stafford might retire this year. Maybe he tried to push his way to play for the Rams or something. So this is the wrong time for all of this stuff to be happening, man. And I know it sounds crazy to be talking like that right now, but hell, we seen Deshaun Watson as to be traded. So this ain't that far-fetched to me.
No, it really isn't, man. Anything can happen. And like we talked about with Paul, shout out to Paul. If y'all haven't heard watched our 300th episode we did last week, make sure y'all check that out, man. It was really good. We tapped in with Paul Gallant. We also brought back our old co-host, Jules, and had a long, funny-ass talk about a lot of shit. So make sure y'all check that out. But yeah, we asked Paul, if he thought that CJ was like a flash in the pan with that first season, and we just got to adjust our expectations for how good he's going to be. And he wasn't ready to go there yet. I'm not ready to go there yet either. but
Yeah.
every game I'm getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
And CJ in general, we got to talk about the hat, and we got to talk about everything, man. We got to talk about CJ as we see him today. How did you feel about the Yankees hat in the post game?
So to me, it didn't bother me at all. I feel like that type of stuff don't bother me, but it also kind of show you that I feel like if CJ wasn't playing here in Houston, I feel like everybody in Houston wouldn't really care for CJ Stroud. I think we'd be treating him how people treat Caleb Williams, whereas he's just an eye roll. And, people might think he's a little corny and all this other stuff, overrated. But as far as the hat thing, to me, that kind of show you, and I don't want to sit here and say he need to be all in on the city and all his other stuff. But to me, it kind of show you that he's not really all in on the city. Because I think about this, Baker Mayfield, who played in Cleveland, I felt like he was the perfect quarterback for a city like Cleveland, who always seem like they get the short end of the stick. A blue collar city, the people that just always work and always got a chip on their shoulder. And Baker Mayfield played like that. He played like that, like he got a chip on his shoulder. He take one little negative thing and just, I'm gonna go out there and play for that. That's how he kind of he put the team in the city on his shoulder type deal. And it seemed like CJ didn't really do that. He's a good kid and all that stuff, but it seemed like he's not really all in on the city. And look, it's not a bad thing. He's from Cali, so he probably California people, they are very loyal. So maybe he don't really rock with the Astros like that. I don't know, but to me, it seemed like he just don't really I don't want to say read the room right, but it seemed like he just kind of got that mindset of, man, I don't care what these people think. Like I play for the Texans type thing. So to me, I didn't really have an issue with it, but if I was him, I would kind of read the room a little bit. Like I would wear anything but a fucking Yankees hat, man. Like I would just stay away from that. Yankees, and then I think earlier this year he had the Seattle Mariners hat.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, I gave him a pass for that because
me too.
I don't think CJ watched baseball like that. He ain't really know the standings between the Astros and the Mariners and stuff like that. But the Yankees hat, it just seemed like he's kind of like, I don't give a shit what these fans got to say or people on the internet got to say. I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, man, I agree. And I also didn't think the Mariners hat was a big deal. But this one was a little different. This one felt almost like a troll because here's my thing, man. I wouldn't care if they caught him out and about wearing a Yankees hat. My thing is he went to the media in this fit. Like he put this on to go talk in a press conference.
He went to a game. That's what he wore to a game.
Yeah, wore to he wasn't going nowhere else but to the fucking stadium to play football. It wasn't like he was going out to the club. It wasn't out like he was going out anywhere else but to play football, and you chose that. Now it's getting to a point where I'm like, okay, is he fucking with us? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he don't follow baseball. But the thing is, and everybody gives him excuses like, oh, that's just the fit. Oh, that's just the fashion. That excuse works when you're not an athlete. When you don't care about rivalries, when you don't care about anything like that, you wear a Yankees hat, you wear a Dodgers hat, you wear whatever looks clean. Fair enough. But when you're an athlete, you know what these rivalries are. You know what the fan bases are. And that's what annoyed me because he knows would he walk around with a fucking Jaguars hat because it matched the fit. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, it's really getting annoying. And everybody's saying, oh, it's just a hat. Why y'all worried about a hat? Why y'all worried about a hat? They're 0-3. This is starting to feel like a divorce almost. You know, a divorce for a lot of people usually is not one big thing. It's a lot of small things
Yeah,
that add up. And
yeah,
with CJ, that's what this feels like. A lot of small things adding up to a divorce. It's he came in talking good shit. He was talking about how he wants Houston fans to be proud to be Texans fans. He was talking that shit, getting us hyped up to be fans of this team. Then he goes on the podcast tour after his rookie season and talks all this shit that he still hasn't backed up. You know, then he has that weird talk with Caleb Williams after the game. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You just got in this league as well. And that looks bad in retrospect too. Then it's the hat stuff. Then it's the 0-3. It's the mannerisms in the press conference now. It's the sun will rise tomorrow. You know, it's tomorrow's a new day. You know,
Hey, that part right there, I thought that was a bad sign right there. The sun will rise tomorrow. Because
yeah,
remember, Deshaun said something like that too. Where he
yeah,
was like, I ain't gonna letting them take my joy away or whatever.
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, now it's like,
At the end, it's just a game, guys. Come on now.
yeah,
That's what it feels like.
yeah, or just simple as I don't care what they think, I'm good. Like the kind of
Yep.
LeBron thing. I
Yep.
go home to my rich family or whatever, my big house and all that stuff. People living in their basement. It's pretty much. And I know CJ wasn't trying to say it like that, but it's kind of like hey, I'm cool. Hey, this ain't about to damper my joy. Losing ain't about to damper. Well, it's dampering everybody else's joy.
Yes. People pay to go to these games. People pay to travel to these games. And you're playing like dog shit. And your response to stuff like, well, you know, one day at a time, guys. We're working on it. Sun will come up tomorrow. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Nah, man. We need – and look, shout out to LUT or LUT on X said, especially while the Texans losing. Yeah, exactly. If they were 3-0, I wouldn't give a fuck about a Yankees hat.
Yeah.
They're 0-3 is a lot more annoying now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just getting annoying with him. And also the excuses for CJ are starting to sound like the excuses for Lamar Jackson in the postseason. You know, but at least Lamar is great in the regular season. But every time he loses badly in like the first round of playoffs or second round, it's always somebody else's fault. It's, he don't got enough weapons. Oh, he don't got enough this. Oh, he don't got, at some point, it's got to be Lamar Jackson's fault. And I think we're getting there with CJ. At some point, it's got to be his fault too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think we're getting there pretty soon. I think, and I see a lot more. Hey, I don't want to sign this dude for this big contract. I seen a lot more trades being entertained now. What he ain't at first it was untouchable and hell no. I'm seeing a lot more people like I see. So nah, it's crazy. It's crazy too because like you said, like he had that quote, the sun will rise tomorrow, all this other stuff. And it kind of made me think about this. I think this was the 2020 season. And remember, JJ Watt was just so pissed off.
Yeah.
The whole time. And he had a rant. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. But I think I wish they kind of had this mind, and this saying a lot. Like everybody ain't got JJ Watt mindset. But remember JJ Watt had this rant.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, when they were awful that year. And I think they was people expecting them to be okay. This was after they traded D-Hop, but they were still a okay team. And this is what JJ Watt had to say.
If you can't come in and put work in the building, go out to the practice field and work hard, do your lifts and do what you're supposed to do, you should not be here. This is a job. We are getting paid a whole lot of money. There are a lot of people that watch us and invest their time and their money into buying our jerseys and buying a whole bunch of shit. And they care about it. They care every single week. We're in week 16 and we're 4-11. And there's fans that watch this game, that show up to the stadium, that put in time and energy and effort and care about this. So if you can't go out there and you can't work out, you can't show up on time, you can't practice, you can't want to go out there and win, you shouldn't be here. Because this is a privilege. It's the greatest job in the world. You get to go out and play a game. And if you can't care enough, even in week 17, even when you're trash, when you're 4-11, if you can't care enough to go out there and give everything you've got and try your hardest, that's bullshit. So that's how I think there are people every week that still tweet you, that still come up to you and say, hey, we're still rooting for you. We're still behind you. They have no reason whatsoever to. We stink. But they care and they still want to win and they still want you to be great. That's why. Those people aren't getting paid. We're getting paid handsomely. That's why. And that's.
So you have to catch themselves to get emotional.
That's
I
bad for us.
Dog, look, I've been critical of JJ, especially like his personality. I've always thought he was like a little forcing it at times. But I'll give him this. Number one, he always seemed like he cared and he tried to hold people accountable without throwing them under the bus publicly. And number two, he tried his best to acclimate himself to the city.
Yeah.
So it really felt like he was ours, you know. And this is something CJ, like we talked about with the hat shit and everything else, it seems like he's not willing to do. I'm not saying he has to do that. It's not a job requirement, obviously. But when you're the franchise quarterback, we would like to feel like you're part of the city. You know, we would like to feel like, you know, I see JJ Watt doing commentary, doing Mike Jones jokes.
Yeah.
You know, like this man is from Wisconsin. He didn't know shit about Houston or anything or the hip hop scene or anything like that. But he at least tried to learn it when he came here. And he acclimated himself to the city and he made it his second home. Yeah. With CJ, it feels like we're renting the nigga. And when he's out, he's out.
I was just about to say that. It seemed like he's kind of moving like he's not going to be here long. Like it seemed like he's probably renting an apartment right now because it's temporary. Like ain't no point in me. Hell, at least Deshaun Watson tried to invest in the damn that shitty ass cheesesteak.
Yeah.
At least he tried to
with Cheetos and stuff on it. Yeah.
Yeah. At least he bought a crib here, like a mansion here and all that shit. It just seemed like CJ is kind of gearing up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this season go bad. And then maybe next year or year or two, if it's still not getting any better, he gonna try to force himself. David Molugheta gonna try to force him to LA or something, man. I don't know. I just it's kind of getting that vibe for me, man. I don't know why.
It might happen sooner than that. I'm sure Mulugheta is in his ear saying, "Look, you can't take all these hits and still get a good deal. We don't want to get you hurt out there." So shit, it might happen soon as next season.
And remember Deshaun Watson. Remember he made that tweet. He requested the trade after they hired Nick Caserio.
Yep.
So maybe it's some type of thing where, you know, people talk behind the scenes. Maybe it's some type of thing where they feel like Nick Caserio ain't a good GM and don't really like the way they run the team. So, you know, I don't think CJ asked to be in Houston. He got drafted here, and maybe David Molugheta was like, "Hey, let's you know, we're gonna play this whole contract thing out, and then we're gonna try to get you back to your home state, and you know where you really be happy and all that stuff, and then you can open up your In-N-Out burger or some shit." But I don't know. It's just if David Molugheta wasn't the agent, then I probably wouldn't even be thinking like this.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way he's thinking, how the Micah Parsons trade, ain't nobody think that trade was happening. He thought Jerry Jones gonna pay him a boatload of money, and that was gonna be it. But it got this nigga traded and paid more. So I just don't put it past nobody. I don't put it past this situation happening, man.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. You've seen it already. So it is possible. Lut on Twitter says we thinking we about to go to the next level. City is pissed. Personally, I spent $500 on Monday night. I'm feel for you, man. I'm sorry it worked out like that. That sucks to hear. But yeah, people are pissed, man. People are looking forward to this season. I don't want to hear no more complaints about, oh, the fans don't get here early enough. Oh, the fans don't do this. Oh, the fans ain't packed up for the Sunday night football game. Man, fuck that. If we had a reason to do it, to pack out the stadium, we would be there. But actually, maybe, people, we always come late to games. I don't know why that is, but
that ain't going nowhere, man.
Yeah, that's not going to change on that. If they win the Super Bowl this year, they still going to come late to games. But look, man, I don't want to hear no blaming the fans and shit when they keep putting this out. When you hire this, people are questioning this offensive coordinator from the beginning. I still don't understand it. This guy came from, I don't know where the fuck, the Patriots tight end coach.
He technically came from the Rams. He was the Rams tight end coach, but he spent a whole bunch of years with the Patriots. So that was kind of like a mask a little bit because people thought they were getting, somebody off the Sean McVay tree. And they was even talking like, man, he sounds just like Sean McVay, all this other stuff. But he went to John Carroll, which is the same college I want to say Nick Caserio went to and other Patriots people went to. And he spent a lot of years at New England. So so they pretty much got a New England offense.
Yeah, it's that nepotism shit, man. It's everybody, Nick Caserio looking out for his own people and to the detriment of the team, obviously. So it's just awful.
And by the way, he never called play. He never been an offensive coordinator, never called plays or anything.
Look, I've seen the jokes about the Texans season is already over. I saw the Beltway boys and posted a funny graphic. I thought that was funny after the Jaguars loss. Look, thank you, H-Town. Look, if the Texans lose against the Titans, who are also 0-3, if they lose this game on Sunday, it is over. Because at this point, who can you beat if you can't beat the Titans? So they better win by like a 5-touchdown lead to get the fans interested in the season again. They better blow the Titans out. If they find a way to lose this game, it is pretty much over. Because at that point, you're in such a fucking hole. And unless you can be the first team to radically change your offense to the point where you can outscore everybody left on the schedule, it's over. This is really a must-win game against the Titans. And really, it shouldn't even be aired on national TV. They should tape the latest bitch, man. Like, no one wants to see this game. 2 0-3 teams.
Yeah. Nobody outside of Nashville and Houston. This shit, man. And I don't think people in Nashville want to see this.
Man, probably not.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an ugly game. Hopefully, there's some excitement. We got to work it. So hopefully, it's give us something, please.
Yeah.
To give us some highlights to play at the end of the game, please, because that's getting tough to do. Shout out to Chris Santiago, who has to go through these, has to get all the highlights. He'd be like, "Yes, that was an easy day, man. It was barely anything."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think honestly, they're gonna win this game, but they're gonna mess it up a little bit because I feel like it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be like 20-17 or some shit. And they gonna win probably last minute or some shit where it's like, damn, it was a bad game, but they barely got past the Titans. And people gonna blow it off as like, oh, at least they got a win. A win is a win. It's gonna be that conversation. But we gonna ignore the bigger picture that, damn, you only score 1 touchdown or 2 touchdowns or some shit. And the offense still look bad, but you barely beat the Titans, who is probably gonna fire their coach soon.
Doesn't matter how it looked, Brian. AFC South champions 2 years in a row. Doesn't matter how it looked. Yeah, it's starting to feel like those Bill O'Brien vibes again, man. So it don't matter how it looked.
Yeah.
This game might be like 13-3, man. I'm expecting a very low scoring game. Hopefully the Texans pull it out. They have to at this point. If they lose this one, like I said, the fans will be disinterested. We won't believe in them. The only way they can come back is if they beat the Ravens. And let's be real, okay? Unless Lamar Jackson gets shot,
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
I think everybody put an L on that game right there.
oh, immediately.
That's why this one is a must win, because I mean, if you don't beat the Titans, you're going to be 0-5, and then it's a bye week, and then you come out of the bye week playing Seattle late as fuck. Like, nah, man, like it's gonna look ugly, man. I know we talk shit about the Browns, how they probably gonna be the worst team in the league, man. They are playing better than the Texans right now, man.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear no more. Oh, we're close. The games are close. We're 1 or 2 plays away from being 3-0. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I'm sure the Detroit Lions had a lot of close games when they was 0-16. All right,
that's part of the NFL, man. This ain't college where
exactly
you got 52-0 type games.
There's not a lot of blowouts, man.
A lot of these games be close, man. I watched every game of that 0-16 season with the Browns, and they were in a lot of those games, man. To the point, it was a couple times they could have won and just threw an interception and the game over. It was a bunch of those games where they could have won. They probably could have won like 6 games, but they didn't, man. That's not how the NFL is, man. These are professionals. Teams ain't blowing out teams like that on a day-to-day basis. Like, a lot of your games are going to be close.
Yeah, but that cope just doesn't work for me, man. I don't care how close the game is. If the point is they're 0-3, I don't want to hear the excuses. I just want to hear, look, I know press conferences are all bullshit, and we don't know what's being said behind the scenes, but this glass half full shit is not what people want to hear. People want to hear, look, our team is not doing well and we're going to fix it. The end. I don't want to hear, oh, sun will come up tomorrow. We'll be okay. We're working on things. I don't want to hear it. It's not working for me.
Yeah, I hope they get it together, man. If not, this is going to be a long season, man.
Yep. So must-win game on Sunday. We'll see how it goes. But, yeah, I'm not expecting a fucking slobber knocker by any means, man. It's going to be a rough watch. The red zone might not even cut to them. Red zone might not even cut to the game on Sunday, man. They might not even cut to Texans Titans. We'll see,
man.
But all right, that about does it for sports, man. Of course, we talked about briefly the Fred VanVleet injury, which sucks. Yeah. Hopefully they can recover. Still looking forward to basketball, man. Still looking forward to Kevin Durant in a Rockets uniform. So I'm excited for that, man. It's coming up.
Yeah,
it's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Astros are what they are, man. Look, people have already doom and gloom with this shit, talking about it's all over. And look, we can't act like the Astros will never be good again. Yeah. But if this is officially where the dominance ends, we had a good run. So I can't be upset.
Yeah, it was more than a good run, man. Like, a lot of teams didn't have this long of a dominant run like that, man. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, everything comes to an end. I just hope it's not bad enough where they just go into sell mode where we're going to suck for the next 5 or 6 years type deal. Hopefully they can, stay low and build, and stay low and rebuild quickly and become competitive again.
Yeah. It might be about that time. As long as we don't go back to 100 game lost seasons.
Yeah.
We've been through worse, man. So it'll be okay. Music wise, a lot to talk about, man. We actually didn't talk about some new music that came out last week because we didn't listen to it. Number one, at least I didn't. There's a new Cardi B album I hadn't heard. Actually,
You ain't
Figgy
even
told
know
me
it
after the
dropped.
show.
Yeah,
What's that?
you ain't even know it dropped until I told
Yeah,
you.
you told me. You told me. I didn't know. I heard it was coming. I didn't know it already had dropped.
Yeah.
So we've had a week to listen to it. Cardi B's new album, Am I the Drama? A lot of features on it. It has Kalani. It had Lizzo. It has Summer Walker on 2 songs. It is 23 or 24 songs long, an hour and 13 minutes.
I think she had Janet Jackson on there, or was that a sample?
She had 2 Janet Jackson samples,
Okay.
which that lets you know the label was really pushing her, because I know that wasn't no easy thing to clear or
Yeah.
cheap thing to clear. Sidebar, wasn't it crazy that Plies of all people got a Janet Jackson sample for that Busted Baby? Remember that?
Yeah.
And he got Janet Jackson on the song.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson was doing anything at that point, I think.
Yeah.
How the fuck
Yeah.
did Plies get the sample and the feature from Janet Jackson?
Yeah, Janet Jackson is so interesting too, because you look at her as obviously as Michael Jackson's sister, and then it's like, oh, she's so legendary, and then she got little moments where it's like, wait, what? You
Yeah.
was with Jermaine Dupri, or just little small stuff like that, where it's like, what is? I think Michael Jackson got the same thing too. We talked about he was at Summer Jam in New York with Rockefeller. It's kind of like, what? So it's just got the little small moments where it's like, man, you better than you supposed to be walking around like Prince. And you sitting here being around regular folks and doing shit for regular people.
Yeah, it was yeah, it's really unfortunate that her career derailed after that Super Bowl shit, because I always do wonder, like, what could have happened. You know, that album would have sold a lot better, I'm sure. They basically banned her from radio after that shit happened for a while. And it sucks that happened, because I think she would be even higher than she is now if she got to, keep on the trajectory she was going. But yeah, I wasn't all for the Jermaine Dupri. I'm not big on the Jermaine Dupri, Mariah Carey stuff, or the Jermaine Dupri, Janet Jackson stuff in general. I do know that was Mariah Carey's comeback album, that shit with Jermaine Dupri, but I just wasn't a fan of the beats. I didn't like the sound.
Or whatever.
Yeah, Emancipation of Mimi.
Yeah.
I just wasn't a fan of that version of Mariah Carey, but it sold a lot, so what do I know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Cardi B's new album is here. A lot of topics she covers. She at least 2 diss tracks that I heard going at some unnamed people who already clapped back. I think JT has clapped back. And Bia, who I didn't even know who the fuck that was, but I had to look it up because of this damn diss track. She got a whole song dedicated to her. And a lot of stuff about the Offset breakup, which, a lot of women who've been through that thing can relate to. A few songs dedicated to that. And yeah, pretty much what you expect. So, Figgy, we're going to start with you, man. What were your thoughts on Cardi B's second album, her first in 7 years, Am I the Drama?
Honestly, I thought it was a solid project, man. I think it's very polished. I was about to say well produced, very polished. It seemed like they got her in that direction of pop star. I guess that's the best way to say it. It seemed like this album was in pop star mode. I heard a lot of poppy radio type songs, and honestly, it was similar to the last album. To be fair, I think it was the same formula, but I thought it was okay, man. I think I'll probably go back to a few songs, but I thought it was okay. I like what song did I like? Let me pull up the damn track list. But it was a couple songs where I'm like, okay. Like, I thought it was fine. I want to say it was the song going at JT. the I think it was Magnet.
Yeah.
I think that was the song she was going at JT with. It was a couple songs, Better Than You with Cash Cobain. I thought that was cool. Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think the part, and this is kind of getting off the actual album, but the I think the part that bothered me, it was a very cringy thing, was I want to say it had to be like a couple days later, and it was already like the album is platinum, guys. And I was just like, I'm like, y'all really making this tweet because y'all put WAP on there, and y'all put a couple like old songs on there that was like 3 years old, and then we already just celebrating like, yeah, we, this is a Cardi B goes platinum again, whatever the tweet was, and I'm just like, man, that's I don't know, that's that part I didn't like. I get it, but that's the part I was just kind of like, eh. And I think I seen something today saying it was projected to sell 205,000 first week. And this is the part that got me right here. It was 90K pure, I guess, pure sales. So I'm like, damn, that's a big, that's a wide gap right there.
Yes.
So I think I think it's fair to say I look at the 90K as kind of where it is. But I thought it was a solid album. I kind of like the rollout a little bit. I feel like she all over the place, and I kind of forget how entertaining she could be. But yeah, man, I'm kind of glad she had a good album, man, because I feel like the Barbs are kind of looking at this and just ready to attack, just off the strength of how she do with this album.
Yeah. And I'm a little confused on how the streaming works. I already said I don't give a fuck about the streaming numbers because it's all fake to me anyway. But I was confused because I've heard that, obviously she put WAPing up on here to boost the stream numbers and sales. And it's funny because if you look on YouTube Music, it shows how many plays every song has gotten. So you got, a few songs with like 2 million. The album's only like a week old. So you got some songs like 2 million. The single Imaginary Players got 9 million, of course, because that came out a while back and it was all video and all that shit. Everything else, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million, 1 million. Then you go to Up at 638 million and WAP at 1.7 billion. It's like, okay. But I mean, I don't give a shit. To be fair, these are her songs. So I don't give a fuck if she puts them on the album, even if they're years late at this point. I mean, they're her songs. She can do whatever she wants with them.
Yeah.
Now the album, I thought it was good, man. I was actually reluctant to hear it because I just didn't feel like I were in no damn Cardi B mood. I just don't. Her music really ain't for me. But honestly, man, I gotta say, there's something for everybody on this album, I think. Kind of like her last album.
Yeah.
There's hard trap shit. There's some goofy TikTok bullshit. That Bodega Baddie, man, she should have just named that the TikTok song. It was so obvious she was aiming for a TikTok hit with that bullshit. But I digress. Anyway, there's smooth R&B songs. There's love songs. There's everything you want in a rap and R&B type album. There's something here for you. I agree with you. I thought it was very well produced. The good beats are really good. There are a few I didn't really like. I think she could have cut probably like 3 or 4 songs completely and the album will be better for it. But overall, the production is really well done. And it's pretty much what you expect. I'm happy. I don't think it was worth a 7-year wait, but I am happy she finally dropped something for her fans. There's a lot of music here to take in, so they'll be fed for a while. Also, what you said about her, being out and about, there's a conspiracy, I guess, that Cardi B intentionally gets pregnant to avoid stuff she has to do to promote her album. Because I mean, when you think about it, she's only had 2 albums and she's been pregnant both times. So it seems very coincidental. But to her credit, man, I do see her out. She's doing meet and greets with fans and shit. Now you can guess she probably be doing more. I don't think she's performed anything at all that I've seen. She's not touring. Maybe that's because of the pregnancy, but she is putting herself out there and doing some work and meeting up with fans. So at least she's doing that. So I can't knock it. I think she came here this week, didn't she?
Yeah, she was at a Walmart here twerking.
Okay.
Working while pregnant, and some people was upset about it.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's pretty on brand for Walmart.
Honestly, yeah, and Cardi B. So what can you expect? What do you want her to read a book?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know what she's there for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I honestly, as somebody who's not really a big Cardi B fan, I thought it was a good album, and that's all I can really say, man. It's solid, and even if you don't like her, you'll probably hear some songs somewhere that you'll like. And I do think it was baity because I looked up that Janet Jackson feature just to make sure, and it was just a sample. Okay. I think that's some clickbaity bullshit to say featuring somebody and it's a sample of a pleasure principle.
Yeah.
Like, unless Janet Jackson on there singing some new shit is not featuring Janet Jackson. I hate that shit.
Yeah, me too. Because when I seen it, I almost went straight to it.
Yeah.
Kind of see, but I'm like, nah, I just kind of put the album on in the background and just let it play all the way through. So I wasn't sure. I can't remember how the song went, but I wasn't sure Janet was really on there or not. But man, I hate when people do that. I think Busta Rhymes did the same thing one time. One of his albums, it was Busta Rhymes featuring Bev DeVoe.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, oh shit, it was nothing but the Poison sample. I'm like, no shit. Like, you had to put featuring them. Nobody would have known who that was, huh?
Yeah, that's annoying. You can't be doing a sample and say it's featuring somebody. That's unless they singing the hook or doing something. Even the ad libs I would accept.
Yeah.
But no, if you just sample the old record, that's like Eric Sermon saying featuring Marvin Gaye on that remember that Just Like Music? That's not featuring Marvin Gaye, all right? You don't even know who you are. You've been dead before you was a rapper.
Yeah.
So that's just annoying.
Yeah. I did have something to ask you about this because I think the main thing people have been talking about with this album was her dissing JT and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we both know Cardi, she uses writers and all that stuff. She got a whole team of people that help her with her music and all that stuff. And I saw this clip going around. It was pretty much Joe Budden breaking down the album. And he was breaking down this song. And I want to say like throughout the whole album, but specifically this song, he was just like, yeah, man, this fire. Whoever wrote this is fire. And he just kind of kept going about it like that. And Cardi B actually replied to that clip. And this is what she tweeted. She tweeted, whoever wrote it, nah, that's Cardi. This is my process. I'm a natural roller coaster, and you already know I'm quick with the mouth, so I'll be coming up with lines. I'll record it myself and lay it later. Don't get me backhanded tens because I'll always be able to prove my shit. And she posted the video of her, I guess, a voice note, her rapping that same line and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So it seemed like she's trying to squash the whole everybody, people writing her shit type deal. Do you think that's fair for people to kind of judge her in that way a little bit? As far as like, hey, that shit hard. Whoever wrote that verse is hard. That shit was like, do you think it's fair to critique her like that?
I mean, look, if we're gonna use that critique, we gotta go back and use it for Lil Kim as well. Because I don't remember hearing that used for her. Everybody just thought she was a dope MC. You know, we obviously knew, especially with that first album, that Biggie wrote most of her shit. We even got the video of him rapping Queen Bitch as a reference track, which is really funny to hear him rap those lyrics.
Yeah.
But look, this has existed and it is what it is. Nobody thought that Cardi B was a hardcore lyricist, man. She was more of a personality that got hot off a reality TV show. Now to be fair, is except for like Imaginary Players, which sounds like some shit that somebody else wrote. I think that at the very least, her songs are still in her voice.
Yeah.
Meaning I can't hear anybody else rapping these songs as Cardi B. You know, whereas it was super obvious with Diddy when he was rapping, and it was obviously somebody else's cadence, and it was obviously somebody else's lyrics, and it got to a point where you could tell, like, oh, Pharoah Monch wrote this song, oh, Jay-Z wrote this song. You could tell by the way he rapped who wrote the song.
The Lots wrote that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So at the very least, she had all her songs are written in her voice, and she's using like words and phrases that only she would really use or know. So look, I don't knock it. I don't knock it. I do think she writes. I don't think she writes everything. I think she gets help, but I don't think she came in the game claiming to be Lauryn Hill either.
Yeah.
You know, I think, look, I don't, it doesn't bother me with her because she never came in the game saying it's different with Drake. You know, Drake came in with that I'm the best MC type of attitude. You know, he wanted respect as a rapper.
Yeah.
Where Cardi B, she just wants to make music and make hits. And I think she enjoys the art of rap, but I mean, she's like you said, a pop star.
Yeah.
And every pop star done had shit written for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was taking a little too far the way he kept saying it, like, oh, whoever wrote that was fine. Because if that's the case, we need to do that with Travis Scott. We need to do that with Travis Scott. We don't do that
Kanye.
with Kanye. Yeah. Who did you say?
I said Kanye.
Yeah. Like we never. Every time I hear a Kanye verse, and I know a lot of people write his shit, I never say, "Damn, that was fire." Whoever wrote that. No, we give Kanye the credit, even though we all know he don't be writing this shit. So yeah, I agree with. I think Cardi do write some of her stuff, but I think I can't sit here, like, I'm sure she got writers to help construct the song, probably come up with hooks and different concepts and stuff like that. But just like a ghetto bitch type of song, like that was the one that was going at JT, I 100% think she probably wrote that shit. But if it's the song with Kalani or something like that, I could see somebody else coming up with that song and she adding their flavor to it or something like that. So I think it's kind of unfair that people just, whoever wrote that for her, it's just like, man, y'all don't do that with nobody else.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for that.
And I think that's only a point of contention or a point to bring up, period, because Nicki Minaj. Because that started with her. She's like, I write my own shit. I don't use no writers. I don't do this. Well, honestly, she should probably start using getting some help. Because a lot of her music is she has some good and some bad.
By the way, she tweeted her album coming March, whatever, sometime
next year, I think, right?
Yeah, and she did it. It's funny, she did it around the time Cardi was promoting her album and shit. So it's clearly something there.
Yeah, she should have dropped a song if she cared that much. Who in this era, especially, who promotes an album that far off? March of 2026? Who gives a fuck, man? We're in September 2025.
And if you a diehard Nicki Minaj fan, what are you doing with that? It's a damn tweet. And what you gonna do? Oh, she coming in March in 2026 next year, y'all. That's all you got. Like she would have did a little more damage if she dropped a freestyle or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jermaine on Twitter says a lot of rappers / singers use writers. Still, Dre was Eminem and Jay-Z wrote Dre's parts. Pretty much all of Dr. Dre's stuff was written for him. And that's another thing that never gets held against him.
Yeah.
You know, I guess the producers get an asterisk, like it's okay for them since they're producers.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun. Every time I hear that Still Dre, it sounds just like Jay-Z, man.
Yeah.
Like it sounds exact. Like listen to it again, just kind of listening Jay-Z's voice. It sounds just like Jay-Z, man. I'm like, damn, I don't know how we didn't, or at least I didn't hear that as a kid or younger. But I'm just like, man, that sounds just like Jay-Z. And don't nobody ever say, oh, whoever wrote that verse for Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre get all the credit for his shit. Hell, I don't even know if he be producing music no more, man. I think he be having everybody else doing shit and he get the credit for it.
Well, he probably produced that Snoop album that was ass. Him and Snoop dropped that album that nobody talks about.
That Missionary.
He probably produced that bullshit by himself.
Yeah. What was the I don't know if I think it was a beat from Scott Storch, I want to say. I think Dre got the credit for it. But I think Scott Storch, I want to say he kind of did most of the beat or some shit. I
want to say that was still DRE.
Was it?
I want to say it was. Let me look it up. Yeah, it was still DRE. It was still Dre. He did the keyboard and the riff. Like that was basically as a whole beat. So yeah. I believe it, man. And look, a lot of I don't trip out the writer thing really in general. The Drake stuff was just blatant, and I don't think he even some of the songs that got exposed, I didn't even think he even needed written for him because I know he can write.
But he wrote songs for. I think he wrote songs for Dr. Dre, if I'm not mistaken, or submitted songs. He was a writer.
He is.
That was the crazy part about it. Like he was a writer.
Mm-hmm.
And people forget that, and it's just the whole. I think just the reference tracks coming out, and it was for some of his bigger songs and all that shit. It's just like damn, and then like you mentioned, he wanted to be respected as an MC, and it's just like dog. We in this day and age, we have not seen a MC with reference tracks like that. So. You see it more now, but at that time, I thought his career was over.
No, people had him at top 5 all time at that point, man. And his writing was a big part of it. And to see, like I said, he didn't need to have them written for him. A lot of the songs that Quentin Miller did, I'm like, I feel like Drake could have done as good or better. So I just don't understand it. But yeah, one person that got me when he got exposed, or not really exposed, I guess it might have been known, but I didn't know Snoop Dogg had a lot of this stuff written for him. Like a lot of his stuff was written for him. And I just didn't expect that. I thought he was an MC from the beginning. Yeah. And yeah, that was unfortunate to hear that Snoop. I mean, it's not like he was a producer or anything else. All he did was rap. Yeah. And to find out that a lot of this shit was written for him, a little disappointing, but
yeah, no, I could definitely see that. And he was young too.
Yep.
It wasn't like he was and that's the other thing. Like, I understand where Drake is coming from when you in the game already and you just got all this access to writers and shit like that. And if Quentin Miller came to me with this song called 10 Bands and like, hey, check this out. This is for you. And I'm like, oh, that's for me. That's a hit. All I gotta do is do this song over. Like I got a million other things to do right now. That's a slap right there. Let me record this and put it out. Like the rapper in me is cringing a little bit, but I understand that if you're a millionaire at that point, you the best rapper in the world, and you got to come out with hits consistently. I can understand that, but Snoop, who was early on, like especially back in the 90s, no, you can't write none of that. That's the crazy part for me.
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate, man, because you want to think that these things are, off of the skill of the rapper doing it, but it's a new day and age, man. I don't think anybody cares about that anymore. But at one point we did. Speaking of Quentin Miller, funny enough, Quentin Miller was on the one of the Jay Electronica projects that came out this past week. Jay Electronica released a few albums. One of them he released was an album that had got leaked like 5 years ago or something. And I think in response, Jay Electronica put the album up officially on Tidal, but then took it down after a while. So he put that up, and he also released a new album. I gotta look up what these shits are even called. It's like part 1, part 2, part whatever the fuck. Let me see these albums.
The one I seen.
Okay, the old one he dropped was a written test. Not in the written. It was Act 2, Patents of Nobility. Then he made or released a written testimony leaflets.
That's the one I saw.
That's the one I heard too. And I also heard this one. He released a written testimony, Mars, the Inhabited Planets. And he also dropped an EP called A Written Testimony, Power at the Rate of My Dreams. And I think in this 5-song EP, there's like 1 song or 2 songs he's actually rapping on. So the rest are just skits with instrumentals behind them.
So I'm looking at the Inhabited Planet one, Mars, the Inhabited Planet one, and I'm looking at the name of these songs, man. Have you seen the name of these songs?
Yes.
And track 1, Dear Mr. Blaine, I won. Track 2, Letter to Mars, is cool. Track 3, 1,000 miles per hour to the border. This is like, all right, got a sentence there. All right. Track 4, At Real Candace O, Tell Us More.
That's actually the best song on the album too.
I'm looking at track number 6, CNN and BBC are liars.
Dog.
Track 7, remember that one time Trump tweet? I can't read the rest of it. I can't see the rest of it, but I'm like, man, what is you on, brother?
Remember that one time Trump? I can't even see. Trump something on Zelensky in the White House. Dog, if you think that's funny, look up the song titles for the Leaflets album. It's number 1, Abracadabra. Number 2, Real Life Alchemy. Okay. Track number 3, Who Killed Michael Jackson? With like 5 question marks. Track number 4, Is it possible that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is still physically alive? Track number 5, Japan Airlines 1628. Track number 6, 4,400,000,000 / The Worst Is Yet to Come. Track number 5, Highlander. This is the most Jay Electronica sounding album titles of all time. What's up, Ja Wick on X said Dre was never a rapper. Fair enough. Now, I like we said, we don't hold that against him. They get the asterisk. Him and Kanye, I think, RZA wrote his own shit, but most producers got the asterisk or the it don't matter that they don't write because they're not really rappers.
I say Dre, Diddy, and Kanye. Nobody never really said, well, he don't write his stuff. It's just like, well, that's Diddy. or well, that's Kanye. Or I think I would say Kanye. I feel like Kanye is probably the one that will get the most critique, and that's barely. That I think that's barely. I think you just had people pissed off at him and say, "I wrote all of that shit." You kind of get a lot of that, but nobody questions that they use writers.
Yeah, he said Easy E too. Easy E was disappointing to hear that he was having this shit written by like Ice Cube and them. Because I'm like, you can't write Boys in the Hood. That's a very basic ass rap song, man. Cruising down the street in my 6'4". You can't rap this shit.
No,
you can't write this yourself, man.
I wonder who wrote the and this is this is kind of a like a hot take for me. Easy on that For the Love of Money and Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Feel like that's the worst verse ever, man. It sound cool, but if you just listen to that verse, it's just like, what the fuck is he talking about,
Man,
man?
on the corner just slanging rocks. Oh shit, come the crooked ass cops.
So
yeah.
I'm and Doug and I hide by the tree, making sure the motherfuckers don't see me.
Dog. LA niggas love his verse on that song. I realized that when I went over there. They love that Easy E verse. I thought it was terrible. The worst part about it is that it comes after the Bone Thugs rapping.
Yeah.
So they're rapping super quick, doing their harmonic flow thing, and then he comes with that ABC ass shit.
Dude, he was rapping like he was still in the 80s.
Yes.
I'm like, man, and look, rest in peace to Easy E, legend. Well, I'm like, man, you on here sounding washed up, man. They only gave you like 8 bars too. So they didn't even give you a long verse, and he's in there. Police on my draw. I had to pause and yeah. This nigga said, my game is tight as fuck. It's my game. I'm like, all right, man. You know what that remind me of? It remind me of a nigga that's in the hood that don't rap and like, hey, let me get in there. Yeah, you let the nigga get on there. He write about 4 bars.
Dog, that fucking that's like that Grandmaster Caz ass shit. That fucking Rapper's Delight ass rapping.
Yeah. I ain't going to LA no time soon, but man, that shit, man, look, it's very stylish, and people, whenever that song come on, people sing to it and all that stuff. But if you listening to that shit, it's just like, man, what the fuck is he doing, man?
Yeah, Easy E. Look, I like Easy E music. I even like the album he dropped. I forget what the fuck it was called, but that solo he dropped. But in general, he was very basic ass. I kind of like, you know what Ari Spears said about Ice Cube?
Yeah.
That really applies to Easy E more than Ice Cube.
He didn't like the Today Was a Good Day song.
Yeah. And to be fair, I think he's right about a lot of Ice Cube shit. It is very basic, man. But at least I think with them it was delivered. Like David on YouTube says, Easy was saying whatever, but in a stylish way. That really was the appeal of it.
That's exactly what that verse was, because the verse, if you drunk as hell and in the club and that song come on, you're gonna be like, oh shit, this is the motherfucking cops. So you gonna jam it out. But I'm just like, man, just listening to all these rappers, listen to Crazy Bone, and then you get to that ABC ass rapping. It's just like, man, what the fuck is he? Like, what should nobody have Easy top 10 on the MC list, man? If we going off of this.
Yeah, it's
and like, somebody wrote that shit, or somebody was writing that shit.
That's the crazy part, man. That's the crazy part. But look, to be fair, it was like the 80s, late 80s when they dropped. Hip hop was still in the very, it had been around for some years, but it was still in the very early stage. I think
it was
when Rakim
still new, man.
That's why when Rakim dropped, they looked at him like he was an alien.
Yeah.
And when you look back, it's not like his raps were super complex, but just compared to everything else that was out, it seems super advanced for the time.
Just imagine listening to the Grandmaster Flash or Houdini, and then you got nigga like Rakim and Eric B just come out rapping like that. You like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is this?
It took a long time for rappers to rhyme more than one syllable. When you think about it, it's like cops at my door. I jump and hide on the floor. It was always some shit like that. Some
Yeah.
basic ass rapping. And it took a while for rap to evolve to where they could, look, say what you want about the new generation of rappers, but technically they are a lot more skilled. They're doing multi-syllable raps. They're carrying concepts throughout songs. And before it was very basic. I still like it. I like early rap, man. I like everything, but it is very basic. It's kind of like watching a NBA game from the 70s.
Yeah.
and watching one today.
Yeah.
It's a different game.
Yeah. It's like the NBA. Like the NBA players technically are like skilled better, but I just genetics and all that shit, man. It's just they just better a little bit.
I had to look up "Today Was a Good Day" lyrics, man. It is such a basic ass song when you look at it. Just waking up in the morning, thought I gotta thank God. I don't know, but the day seems kind of odd. No barking from the dog, no smog. And mama cooked the breakfast with no hog. So let's look at this. He rhymed God, odd, smog, hog, and dog.
Yeah.
That's the most basic ass rapping you could do.
And honestly, he was just telling what he did that day.
That was supposed to be the whole like, wow, this regular day was a good day in the hood because he didn't get robbed or killed.
Yeah.
I guess that was like the joke of it, but it was still pretty funny.
Yeah, so he just pretty much said, just imagine you ask me, hey, what you do today? Oh, none. I woke up this morning, had some breakfast. Mama cooked some breakfast. I got my grub on, and I hit the road. Yeah, what he had to do today.
It's also very funny that part of his good day was that his mother didn't cook bacon. Like what? Get out of here with your fake Muslim ass, man. I know you was eating sausage and bacon back in the day. It's just too funny, man. But anyway, I digress. We're talking about Jay Electronica. David said a funny playlist would be classic rap songs that are carried by the beat. That's a lot of them, honestly.
Ooh, yeah.
A lot of Too Short songs from back in the day as well. He was also another basic ass rapper. So yeah.
Yeah.
Jay Electronica. Okay. I skimmed through these albums. I'm not gonna lie and say I listen to every single song, especially the songs that are like 4 minutes of dialogue from a speech or a congressional hearing or Diddy doing the intro or some shit. So I skimmed them for the actual rap. And look, rap wise, Jay Electronica is who he's always been. One of the best MCs I've ever heard, honestly. When he's focused and he's on it and he's locked in, one of the best ever. But these albums are a pain to listen to, man. All right. And I think it would be, if he dropped these even 5 years ago, it would be a lot more accepted and like, wow, finally Jay Electronica again. But now I'm past it. I'm past it, man. I'm past my Jay Electronica phase. I'm happy we're getting new music from him. There was 2 songs, and one of them I liked a lot that got taken off. The Who Killed Michael Jackson song, which is one of the best songs he dropped in this whole thing.
I wonder why that got taken off.
Yeah, right. I think it was actually because, and that's the song that had Quentin Miller on it. Random feature, but he killed it, man. He actually had a good verse. But I think that song was taken off because he used a beat from a TikTok producer that had been used in a bunch of songs, like remixes, and he used that beat. I'm like, wow, he got this beat, but then he took it off. So I think he didn't clear it with the guy, and the guy heard of it. But yeah, if you're a Jay Electronica fan, if there are any out there still after all these years of no word from him and no music at all, aside from that one Jay-Z did half of the album he put out. It's a good listen. You'll like it, but it's very much a Jay Electronica project with a lot of bullshit, a lot of long skits, a lot of that. The Who Killed Michael Jackson song, I'm not even lying. It had a 3-minute long speech from a guy congressional hearing about UFOs. So I was looking at this song. It's like, okay, it's 5 minutes. He's gonna go into the whole song. I'll skip to the song. I heard the Farrakhan intro, which is like 45 seconds. I'm like, okay, now Jay Electronica rapping. Now Quentin rapping. Oh, Jay Electronica go back in. Then it cuts to a 3-minute long speech about aliens. I'm not even lying, man. So Ja Wick said he played the album while at work. It was all skits and 1% raps. 100%. That's exactly what it was, man. And it's like I could have just watched these speeches on YouTube if I wanted to. It's not like this is 1994 when we ain't got no internet. No,
Yeah.
if I wanted to hear Farrakhan, I could dial up Farrakhan speeches. All right. I wanted to hear some rap music.
Man.
So
I probably won't get excited about the Jay Electronica album unless I see Jay-Z is a part of it.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And I think Jay-Z is the one who saved that album, because if Jay-Z wasn't on it, it's not like Jay Electronica would have rapped more.
Yeah.
He just would have had some filler ass bullshit on the song, some speeches.
Yeah.
So David Brothers says, does he rap about his Halliburton ex? Yeah, he never brings up that Rothschild lady he was dating, which is very funny how he's still fronting like he's still a Nation of Islam dude. And we saw you out with that billionaire white lady, man. What the fuck are you talking about? This is another fake ass revolutionary. But anyway,
other thing about him, I keep forgetting he from New Orleans, man.
Yeah, no, he actually he brought out the accent for these songs as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was rapping like a more lyrical Juvenile at times. Loaded.
I keep forgetting he from New Orleans, man. He seemed like a New York nigga.
He was promoted as like a New York type of dude. I think it helped that Diddy was on Exhibit C, and he had songs with Just Blaze producing.
Yeah.
So he sounded like a New York dude, but he is from New Orleans, and he brought out the accent for a number of these songs as well. So you definitely hear it this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I will say, unless you're a hardcore Jay Electronica fan, you can skip these. You know, I think there are 2 songs you should listen to. Maybe the Japan 1628 was good. Who Killed Michael Jackson, if you can find it, is good. And the real Candace Owens, Tell Us More, which is a funny ass name for a song. That's actually a really good song too.
It's at real Candace Owens.
Yeah, her Twitter. So yeah, I would say get those songs. The rest you could probably skip because it's just a lot of skits over instrumentals. So yeah, there goes the I think we might be good on Jay Electronica. Might not drop until 2038.
Yeah,
at this point. So
yeah, I think
enjoy while you can.
He emptied the vault, so he good.
Empty the hard drive for sure. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about, last but not least, we gotta talk about this Young Thug album, man. All right, number one, let me ask Vicky, did you listen to it?
I got through like 4 tracks, man.
Okay.
I got like 4 tracks, and I had enough.
I got through the first song and I cut it off. Now, if y'all haven't heard the first song, number one, Young Thug on this album, Ooey Scooty. On the cover, he put himself in whiteface. He did the Drewski skit, but for real, I guess. And he made his eyes blue. He made his skin white. And I guess it's like him in whiteface or looking like a white man. So I'm like, okay, cut on the first song. At the very end of the first song, he starts saying the N word with the hard R a bunch of times, and that's when I cut it off, man. I'm like, you going down the Kanye route? Is this what this is about?
Yeah,
Go to jail and come out Kanye?
yeah. I heard that, so I was listening to that song in the car. Now I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm on my way home. Let me see what this sound like. I played it, and it took me a minute to get into it, but I'm like, the beat, all right. So I'm bouncing to it. I'm like, all right, cool. Then when you get to that part, I'm just like, okay. I'm like, did he just say that? Said it again. I'm like, oh, okay. Said it again. Okay, said it again. Kept to the point. I actually skipped this. I'm like, all right, man. I skipped the song. I ain't cut it off because I was still in the car, but I skipped the song. I'm like, I'm cool on this, man. You on some other type shit, man. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, I don't even think I ever heard anybody say the N-word with the ER that many times in a row like that. Usually, even if it's somebody racist or something like that, you might get a good N-word out of them, and that's it. But he was saying it for a bunch of times. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm cool on this. I don't know what he was thinking with that, but I switched it after that.
Yeah, all jokes aside, man, I didn't think that shit was funny or cool at all. Young Thug is 34 years old. He's an OG in the rap game. Man, a lot of people look up to him in rap. And not to mention the fact he has a lot of white listeners as well. To drop a song like this, I didn't think it was funny, man. I don't see the humor in it. If he was trying to make some kind of point, like that's what some people have wondered, is he trying to make some kind of concept album about racism and being white or whatever?
Man, we talking about Young Thug.
Young Thug of all people.
He ever made a point?
Yes.
Or concept of anything.
If you listen, the rest of the album is just a regular Young Thug album.
Yeah.
It's not like he had any kind of song where he's trying to get a message through. So I thought it was very corny, and I think as a black man, he should be fucking embarrassed to put this shit out there. And I don't even like going that far with a lot of people because I don't like you're not black if you don't do this or that. But I think it's embarrassment as a black man to put a song like that out there for white people to consume and repeat. And at one point, you're gonna go on tour and do it. You know, tell everybody not to say the word.
Yeah.
They gonna be singing their hearts out, man.
Yeah.
So it's embarrassing. And after that, I'm done. Look, I said it jokingly at first, but now I'm 100% serious. Throw this nigga back in jail, dog. Put him back in jail. I've had enough.
Yeah. I thought, man, if he gonna make music like this, nah, man, like we sitting there saying free Young Thug for this. Like, now, if he go back to jail, hopefully don't nobody, hopefully everybody is good, but if he go back to jail, I think I'm good. I think he had a stellar career where I could go back to his old shit if I need to. Nah, dog, you ain't making no good music right now, man. You've been out for a little bit. You ain't making no good music, and you've been causing more drama. It been more drama in these streets since you've been home. Nah, man. I'm cool on him, man.
Yeah, let's trade him for Max B. Can we get somebody back and send him in? I'm sick of this already, man. This Young Thug, experiment, this let's see what he sounds like, let's give him time till the album comes out was ass. I don't even want to hear no more. I think I skimmed a few other songs and it sounded terrible.
Yeah,
So
I got to like the 4-track, I want to say, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, I ain't in the mood for this shit, man. This sound like this album should have came out in 2015. It sound like this don't sound like nothing recent. And I know Cardi B is on the song too, but I don't even think I don't even know if I got to her part, man. I was just like, nah, I'm like, I'm cool, man. I ain't got time for this. And I could get ignorant. I could listen to some Playboy Cardi and some, just some shit like that. Well, I'm like, I ain't got time for this shit, man.
yeah, I'm the same way. I wanted to even hear the Future song because I was surprised that Future was still on the album after all that came out.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even make it that far. So yeah, it's thumbs down, man. Send this shit back. Throw this shit in the bushes. It's enough. Enough of Young Thug.
Yeah, this is
The hogs, the pigs.
Pig pen. Yes. Put it in the pig pen.
yeah. Where is my damn pig? No, that ain't it. I don't even think
The hogs, the pigs.
Hogs, the hogs.
This album is pig pen status for sure. I don't think we've even given an album pig pen status in a long time.
Yeah, man. I think we got to the point where we just maybe ain't for us.
Yeah.
I'm good on this, man.
Yeah, this is a 2-pack of ass, like Joe Budden said. So, other things we got to talk about. There was something else I was going to bring up, but I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about CJ Gardner Johnson getting released.
That's right.
In this past week as well, in Texans news and all that. What are your thoughts on that? Because there's a lot of people who don't want to say anything. Apparently, it was a locker room issue. I've heard some people joke that he wasn't even the worst CJ on the team. But Figgy, I know you tapped in, man. What do you think the real reason is why CJ Gardner Johnson got released 3 games into the season after it seemed like they were all in on him before the season started?
Yeah, I think the real reason is, and salute to my dude DJ Bieneme. He put out some videos showing busted coverages and stuff like that, different assignments that CJ Gardner Johnson missed, which kind of swung the game a little bit. And that happened in all 3 games. At least one happened in all 3 games. And so he got confirmation, I guess, from a source saying this is the type of stuff that was happening, and he wasn't doing his job and questioning other people, stuff like that. So it seemed like they trying to put it off as that's the reason why they released him. But my thought is other people on this team that's bad too. You ain't just up and release them. And I know maybe they're not causing the issue in the locker room, but I felt like something happened to the point it got so bad where they had to let him go, because you pretty much converted his contract to like a bigger bonus for him, where he got more money pretty much. And to me, to let somebody go you traded for him. You ain't traded a lot for him, but you traded for him and you let him go after week 3. Like, so clearly there was no coming back for this. You couldn't sit down and talk to him, or maybe make him inactive for week 4 and hopefully get himself together for week 5 or something. Like, to me, when you release somebody, that's it. Like, you tried everything. And it only worked for 3 weeks. I felt like it was something else going on. I don't know if somebody got in a fight. I don't know if he slept with somebody's woman or something. I don't think it was just on the play, like him playing on the field and performance based. I don't think it was just that. and a disagreement in the locker room to release somebody. It's a locker room. Everybody had disagreements. So I think it was a little more than that. I have no idea what it is, but it's hard for me to believe somebody they traded for. And by the way, that last game he played like 90% of the snaps.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's hard to sit there and say oh, it was just a performance-based type deal. So I think something else happened. I don't know if we ever gonna find out, and we'll probably find out if he say it, if he come out and say this is what happened. But I think it was a little more drama, and it got so bad to the point they had to let him go.
Yeah, and I mean, apparently drama was the reason he got released from the Eagles as well. He didn't go back to Philly. So, and I think sometimes the Texans are. This reminds me of there was an episode of the X-Men cartoon when Professor X is like this, all us mutants got to come together type shit, So there's an episode when he brings in this guy named Sabretooth, who's Wolverine's biggest enemy. And he brings Sabretooth in, and Wolverine's like, man, this motherfucker can't join us, dog. He's crazy. And Professor X like, no, we can change him. Everybody gets a chance. Everybody, all mutants. You were just like this too, weren't you, Wolverine? We help all mutants here. Then, of course, in the end, he goes crazy and starts to fight people, and they have to beat his ass and throw him out. So I feel like the Texans are like that. I think they can bring anybody in, even if they got a history, and turn them around. And clearly that's not the case, man. Some people just can't be helped. And I think this is one of those cases where somebody just wasn't going to fit with that team and that culture no matter what. So, yeah, David said the X-Men are wild centrists. Yeah, they are, man. They don't want to. Everybody can live together peacefully in harmony type group. And you got all these criminals and hoes and all kinds. The X-Men are like my favorite superhero team because of that, though, man. Because it's really just a bunch of degenerate and thugs and weirdo ass motherfuckers coming together and fighting people. But yeah, I think the Texans are kind of like that, man. They just think they can convert people to the good way of D'Amico, and it's not always going to work. Wait, I can't hear you, man.
Oh, my bad. I had to mute it. Honestly, I think it's cool that the Texans got to that point where they feel like they could just bring somebody else like that. Because remember, this organization was known for being like good old choir boys, where they wouldn't even look at somebody like that. And now I think they're at a point. I think D'Amico feels the locker room is strong enough where they could try to bring in somebody like a Deontay Johnson and or CJ Gardner Johnson, and it won't throw off the locker room. And now we'll see how this gonna look. Hopefully the guys, go out there and play good and won't miss a beat. But I think that's one of the reasons why certain teams don't bring in people like that. They judge them off of stuff like that. Meanwhile, you got teams like the Kansas City Chiefs. It seemed like they just running the inmate squad at some point, man. It just seemed like everybody got arrest records and all that shit, but they still kind of gel together. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad the Texans aren't really discriminating like that. But that's the type of stuff you get. You're gonna get some misses, man, where for instance, like Baltimore. I feel like that's a strong squad right there. Or the Steelers, that's a strong squad. But once in a while you bring in somebody, they can't really heal. So
Antonio Brown. Yep.
Yeah, so they let them go.
Yep. John Wick said Professor Miko. Well, I mean, they are both bald.
He just need a wheelchair.
Yeah, maybe we could get D'Amico Ryans to play Professor X in the new X-Men Marvel movie they're gonna make eventually. They're probably gonna make Professor X black. They're probably gonna do some race swapping, man. So yeah, get D'Amico, man.
Yeah, they're doing it in about, I say, about 15 years.
Yep.
When they got a whole new cast, when everybody is totally different.
Yep.
X-Men, what's his name? Professor X.
Professor X, yeah.
Yeah.
Professor X gonna come out after the X-Men get their ass whooped for the 15th time in a row. Hey, we're getting there. We're close. You know, one or two good more hits, and we would have beat that giant robot. Hey, come on, man. So yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I know that happened and we forgot to bring it up last week. So, or it didn't happen. I can't remember when that shit happened. But other news. Jimmy Kimmel is back. I was wrong. I thought he was done. I thought he was cooked.
We all was wrong.
Yeah, we all thought he was out of here. We thought that they were going to get somebody else. They were going to let him go. But to be fair, I didn't think the stove would get this hot. And I don't think Disney, ABC did either. Because Bravo on Twitch, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing good. I don't think they thought the stove would get this hot. It got very hot. A lot of people are questioning this, even Republicans, even people who side with the right were saying, no, you can't have the FCC pressure people to get somebody off the air, somebody for a comedian to be thrown off the air because of something he said. And so yeah, I think it was hitting them hard. I think a lot of people were starting to cancel their Disney Plus subscription and all that shit and ESPN and all that stuff. And they brought him back. He came back on Tuesday. He was very emotional. He was crying a lot. But it's always kind of funny to me.
He thought it was over, man.
You thought you go be out in the street broke? How much money he done made off this show to this point, man? I'm sorry, I couldn't get with the waterfall that was going on while he was doing a monologue.
Yeah,
but so Jimmy Kimmel's back. I think at least one of the companies that said they wouldn't air him anymore is starting to air him now. So I think he might be back, man. I think they fought, and I think he's back in it. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel no type of way about it. I honestly, I still didn't hear what he said, man. I guess I kind of tuned that conversation out a little bit. I just kind of heard from other people the I guess the general conversation, what got him in trouble. But I never really cared for Jimmy Kimmel like that in the first place. I never really watched them like that. But I don't know. I thought they was gonna stand on business, man. I thought they were really gonna just get him out of there. We was over here talking about who was gonna replace him. So I'm actually shocked. Maybe they figured ain't nobody gonna replace that. So I guess they I'm kind of curious how I guess how Trump feel about this. I mean, is he gonna try to do more to try to get him out of there, or
he said he would? He actually responded. It was funny because the Republicans who defended this happening, they basically said, oh, there was no government pressure. Trump didn't tell them to throw Jimmy Kimmel off the air. But then as soon as it was announced that Jimmy Kimmel was coming back, he tweeted on his whatever the fuck platform he's on now. He basically said that, oh, they told us, ABC told us that he was fired. Now I'm gonna sue ABC now. Last time I got $30 million. I wonder how much I'll get this time. We'll see what happens. So yeah, he insinuated, or basically just said, that he's still gonna try to fight ABC over this, and basically just straight up implied that he was behind ABC being pressured to throw him off air. So just another day in America.
Yeah.
This shit just happens every day now.
Yeah, it's kind of funny seeing. I guess you kind of see the certain a side of people that's like, hey, there's no such thing as free speech, guys. So just kind of telling Jimmy can't say whatever he want. Like, hey, there's no such thing as free speech here. Like, you guys need to understand. I think I see who was it? It wasn't Clay. I think it was David. It's Dave Portnoy for Barstool, I want to say. It had this long ass tweet. Like, I think he said something like, there's no such thing as free speech in this country. I'm like, where was that all these years ago then? I
Dog,
feel like you saying a lot of wild shit, man.
dog, that is why I say the Republicans are the new liberals. They're all the same. They're not all the same, but they have become what they said they hated. Just a bunch of whiny ass Karens who want to cancel everybody. Because that excuse is exactly what liberals used whenever some right-wing person got in trouble for being racist or whatever the fuck they said. They said freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. That's the exact same line they use. That's the exact same line they're using now. So I'm like, come on, do y'all not see the irony here? Do y'all not understand that you have become the exact thing you were whining about for years just because it's Trump in control now? Just be honest. I want everybody to be honest and say, I only want to hear shit I agree with. Just say that. Just say everybody who disagrees with me should be fired and killed. Because that's really what y'all want at this point, it seems like. Y'all just want to silence everybody who don't agree with you and has something different to say. And that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
There's no people who want to debate people who think differently. That shit's dead now.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to hear what they agree with. And if you don't agree with me, you should lose your job and not be able to do anything until you agree with me.
Yeah, and that's on both sides, to be honest. That's on all sides. It's like if you have a different opinion on something, then it's like you're racist. It's just like, whoa, or either you're a liberal. It's just like, whoa. It's like there's no real debates anymore. It's just straight up attacks. So that's why I try to stay out of I try to stay out of those type of conversations. But it's just funny seeing people, especially the people that are very vocal, like Dave Portnoy, who just kind of, and who's known saying, he said some wild stuff too, man. He said some crazy stuff to the point, I think, what was it, $1 million worth of game? I think Wallow had to come out and be like, yo, we don't rock with none of that stuff. They had to make a statement, man. Because it's like, yo, y'all, y'all one of us. Y'all, love black folks and stuff like that. Y'all represent our people. And this is y'all boss. This is the person y'all under. And some of this shit. And it's just funny how he tweeted, freedom of speech is not real, or whatever he said. I'm just like, damn, that's kind of funny you saying that. So you will keep that same energy if somebody dig up your tweet and you lose your job.
Look, and here's the thing, man. People want to say freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences, and fair enough. But you have to understand that means it really ain't free speech. If you think something but are scared to say it because you think that you will lose your livelihood over it, that means you're being censored. If there's a chance that, look, if I say what I feel about this topic on a platform where you're supposed to say what you think, and it's my own private account, and somebody exposes you and tries to get you fired, that's not free speech, man. That is you being censored because somebody, be it a random Twitter person or the government themselves, wants to get you fired from your job.
Yeah, that's even, honestly, I think people don't really understand the whole purpose of freedom of speech. Like, dog, go back in the day, back to the 50s and the 40s, all that stuff where, or even might have been before that, where you couldn't say anything, man. Like, what, or you'll go to jail type deal. If you say something that you're going to jail. To me, people think freedom of speech, I can say whatever I want with no consequence. Nah, you get consequences. You just not going to jail. That's the freedom part right there.
Yeah.
Because if you go to other countries like North Korea, you will go to jail if you say I disagree with Jim Ong Un or whatever his name is. stuff like that is not freedom of speech. I mean, that's not freedom of speech. But yeah, like here, I could say I disagree with the president, or I could say different stuff like that. But if I say something very ignorant and it get a lot of attention to the point my job got to sit down and talk to me, and they decide to let me go over it, like, nah, that's not, because that's not the freedom of speech part. That's me being stupid, and it's grabbing unwanted attention to my job, and now they gotta let me go over it. Like, that's, to me, that's not the same thing as the whole freedom of speech thing.
Yeah, but at the same, I think that as well. But at the same time, it is a form of censorship because, like I said, I'm of the opinion people should be able to say whatever the fuck they want, unless it's as long as it's not hurting somebody. You should be able to say what you want. Like, you can't do some shit like, say, fire in a movie theater or a plane or something like that, or something stupid.
Yeah.
But in general, I think people should be able to say whatever the fuck they want. And if you're scared to say something because you think you might get, like you said, your boss might have to talk to you about it, then that is a form of censorship, I feel. I think you're being censored from saying what you think because you're scared that the mob will come after you and, try to get you fired. I think that's kind of fucked up, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, I think it's more of just, I guess, companies and stuff being scared of backlash. I think it's the consequence of backlash. So if, let's say I decide to, let's say the guy, Charlie Kirk, if I give some strong opinions that was not Charlie Kirk friendly, and that grabs a lot of attention and all that stuff, that now my job is like, oh, like, we don't want to cause all that attention, so we gonna let you go, type deal. I think that's more of the I guess they don't want to deal with the backlash. And I think it's a form of censorship too. But that's more of, hey, we don't want to deal with this baggage that you brought onto our company, so we just gonna let you, we gonna let you go. Which, to me, that's not really fair. But I think that type of stuff with just how people boycott stuff and cancel stuff, and we talked about Disney Plus, people unsubscribing and all that stuff. People are afraid. If that wasn't the case, then I don't think jobs would care. But we in the day and age where people will stop listening to your show or station and boycott you and try to make you lose money, where it put pressure on all of these bigger companies where they try to react to it. And some of them overreact. Clearly here, I think Disney didn't really overreact because they kept Jimmy Kimmel. But yeah, some people might try to overreact and fire the person so they can pretty much stop the bleeding. And I think that's the issue right there. But if people wasn't really like that, if you just said some fucked up shit and people criticize you, but that was it, I don't think people would lose their job and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get sick of the mob. I think it's bitch made to go complain to somebody's job because somebody said something mean on the internet. I just think that's lame behavior overall. I don't think that should be rewarded with somebody being fired. Because that's really what people just want. Blood. People just want blood. They want to feel like, I got you now because you said something I don't like. So bye, you're fired. Ha ha. Good luck providing for your wife and kids now, bitch. Got to find something else to do. Like, come on, because this motherfucker said something rude on the internet.
Yeah.
All right, man. So
yeah.
I just think it's bitch made.
That's the other thing that kind of bothered me a little bit. It kind of get to the Charlie Kirk stuff, like kind of wrapping it up from last week. But just people on the internet just said, oh, you can, these people, when people start complaining about people on Twitter saying all of these bad things about somebody who died and all this other stuff, I just roll my eyes so hard, because it's like, man, like, we sitting here talking about Twitter, man. We sitting here talking about social media where it's a bunch of profiles on here that hide who they really are, and they will talk shit about. If I post a video of me crying about my mother passing away, people will talk shit about that. So I'm like, why is we over here making a big deal about people saying mean things on social media, man? You see it all over the place. It wasn't like he was the only person this ever happened to. People said so many mean things about everything. Hell, people saying crazy shit about CJ crying on TV, man. CJ Stroud crying on TV, man. So I just don't understand how now it's like you guys are pathetic the way you guys sending these tweets about this. I'm like, man, it's the freaking internet, man. Like, and I understand it's a little deeper than that too, because people in real life are reacting to Charlie Kirk. But I just hate the people that just go point at the internet and see like, yeah, see, we in a fucked up place. Look at this tweet saying he wish he was dead. He should be dead. And anyway, he have a family. Like, dog, we on the internet, man. Like, you see some of the worst things on the internet. Some things I will never see in real life. So that part I never really understood either.
No, it goes back to the it wasn't my side saying this, so I don't co-sign it. I hate it. This is a sign of a destroyed society, because I guarantee you when George Floyd, when that happened, when George Zimmerman, all that shit happened, Trayvon Martin, a lot of these same people were either saying, you know, well, what did he do? Wait, what the fuck? What did he do? Was he a criminal? Was this, like, they were saying disrespectful things about him, bringing up his past, and doing the same type of shit they're criticizing people for doing to Charlie Kirk. But now, since it's on the other foot, it's suddenly, I can't believe people are like this now. I can't believe that we've fallen this far. People are being so disrespectful to a dead man. Number one, I've always disagreed with the fact that, or the idea that we can't disrespect anybody once they're dead.
Yeah.
So you're telling me while I'm alive, I gotta deal with all the disrespect and the hate and vitriol while it affects me. But once I die, I'm off limits. Why can't it be the other fucking way around, man?
That's a good point.
Why not be nice to me while I'm living, and then when I die, you could talk shit because I won't be there. Like, what the kind of backwards ass logic is this? So don't disrespect the dead, but you can disrespect the living. But why? I've never understood that, man. I've never understood the idea that when somebody dies, we can only speak good of them. But while they're alive, yeah, fuck you, bitch. I don't understand it, man.
He has a family, guys. Like, he had a family for a long time and went through a lot of stuff, man.
Yes.
I never understood that either.
I did see his come on, man. Why'd they have the pyro out for his wife at that fucking memorial too? What was that about? People said he looked like Randy Orton coming out in WWE or some shit, or The Rock or Stone Cold with that pyro for his wife when she spoke at his memorial service.
Man,
she was wild.
Damn.
Bravo said, y'all see the MAGA boys go to Tennessee State this week, try to debate DEI with the HBCU. Yeah, that's why a lot of this supposed debate, and this goes to what Charlie Kirk was doing too. They weren't really trying to debate nobody, man. You know exactly what this shit is. The same thing why I don't fuck with those Jubilee videos where it's like one black woman versus 20 Nazis or some shit. one doctor versus 18 anti-vax hillbillies or some shit. Like, y'all know y'all are not trying to change anybody's mind here, okay? Y'all just doing it for clicks. Y'all doing it for attention. Y'all just trying to be provocative to be provocative. And that's what he engaged in as well. We can't lie and say he was actually trying to change minds or have a spirited debate. He was being rude to people. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're being dickheads. Even the last thing he said was kind of like some bullshit to say. So
Yeah. He reminded me of just a white political Kevin Samuels, pretty much.
yes.
Somebody that, just kind of take a lane and just kind of, say some wild stuff to get people angry. But you still, because even some of the clips I saw, you had some black folks coming up to him like, hey, this is racist. Well, it just seemed, it kind of remind me of when Kevin Samuels used to open the lines up to these girls. He used to talk shit about all these women, the women, and these women still be coming on trying to do a "I gotcha" moment to him, and he just crushes them. And it's just like, why are you setting yourself up for that?
Yes.
and you angry at them and all this other stuff, but you call it show to try to catch him in the aha, I got you. And it's just like, man, you kind of feeding into it a little bit.
Yes, 100%, man. He knew they know what they're doing with this supposed debate, which is just trying to berate people and embarrass them. And especially when you have a guy who does this for a living versus some fucking college kids. Like, come on, man. You really think they're gonna debate you on an even playing field?
Yeah.
So she's just annoying in general. David said, if you say enough bad things about a dead person, they go to hell. So, okay, are you in the waiting room before you go to heaven or hell? And they got to gauge how much people liked or disliked you, and then they send you accordingly. They check the mentions first to say, oh, okay, people fuck with you. Okay, yeah, you going up.
Yeah.
Droid on YouTube says Charlie Kirk's wife is promoting a dating app and said she's on it too. Cold-blooded. You also saw her get kind of touchy-feely with Trump too. That was kind of wild.
Oh,
so yeah, I mean, I guess you got to move on, but I didn't know it was gonna be that quick.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is some kind of like conservative only fucking dating app, like farmersonly.com, but for conservative people.
Yeah. I wonder how it would be if somebody that was, somebody that wasn't conservative ended up dating somebody that was conservative. I would like to see how that dinner would go, that little date night would go.
That happened with James Carville, who was a political advisor. He advised the Bill Clinton's campaign in the 90s. He married a Republican congresswoman, and they're like complete opposites, I guess, politically, but they've been married for like 50 years.
Damn.
So that's just kind of how you know that it's all just bullshit and it's a game.
It's all the same, man. It's all the same. It wouldn't even surprise me if that dude was conservative on her side, but he was just doing it because he got a fucking job to do.
Yep.
That's like if I was working at 610, working at Sports Radio 610, didn't give a fuck about sports, but I'm just here doing it because it's a job. And once I go somewhere else, then I just quit fucking with sports, period.
Dog, we've had some people there too that were like that. I've trained some people on the board, and they basically just told me they didn't give a fuck about sports. They were just trying to do something in entertainment. Then I'm like, what are you doing here? They'll walk your ass down to 979, beg them for a job or something, man, because you got to at least try to care about sports.
Honestly, I was kind of one of those. I wouldn't say I didn't care about sports because I did watch it as a fan, but I was totally against sports talk. I was just like, it just growing up, because to be real with you, growing up, I felt like sports talk, especially radio sports talk, was always just like old white men just talking shit and kind of boring, like boring AM radio. So I definitely wasn't into sport. I was into sports, but not sports talk radio. You couldn't pay me to listen to that shit. And unfortunately, the only way for me to get experience was at a sports talk station, running the board and all that shit. And I needed experience. So I started doing it then, and that's when I actually got into the shows and stuff like that. But I was trying to work for a music station. But yeah, I just wasn't into it. But now I'm still fine with it now. If I moved on or whatever, I would probably still check out 610 and all that stuff, flip around a little bit, especially if it's some big news going on. But I'm definitely not the guy that be checking out a random ass show in Los Angeles, trying to see what kind of sports they talking, or listening New York sports radio, that type of shit. Like there's some people that just bounce around like that. Hell no, I'm good, man. I would not be listening. I would not be doing that shit.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Bravo said he's out for the night. He'll spin it back sometime tomorrow. Appreciate you dropping by, Bravo, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. I was more into sports. I would say when I was in college, I was, trying to do some sports journalism. When I was at UT, I did some articles for their paper, and I was trying to get more into sports when I got into sports radio. I had done some city reporting and I didn't really like it. I thought I would be more into sports. I will say the more I worked in sports radio, the less I really liked sports. I don't know what the correlation was, but just I realized, okay, I can't do this every day, man. I wouldn't want to, I know the show hosts get paid a lot and this, they love sports, so it's almost like not a job for them.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I don't care about sports that much to talk about it every day.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of realized when I got into radio. I'm like, some of the stuff we're talking about, I just can't even pretend to give a shit. So it's like I couldn't do it. But in the beginning, I was more into sports and I was trying to get in that area. But after a while, I realized it really wasn't going to be for me. So
yeah, I was the same way. And honestly, I think what won me over, especially with working at 610, was just the random tangents. And this is why I like Paul's show so much, Galana
Yeah.
Night, because it wasn't just 100% sports. It'd be talking about something random that happened, and then it's just like a random ass conversation that started. And that's when I would get into it, like, oh, okay. Like he'd be talking about whatever trending topic that was happening, like the blue dress or the blue or gold dress. That type of shit would catch my attention rather than just talking about, random stats and all that shit. But yeah, now I'm fine with it now. Like I like it now. But that's why most of the time, whenever I'm doing my shit at the station, I be talking about stuff that's not. I try to go not sports related. I ain't trying to go heavy into the numbers and shit like that. But yeah, like I don't have a problem with it now. But at the time, I'm just like, man, like my pops didn't listen to sports talk radio. Like we was just not like into that type of shit.
No, I feel you, man. And my dad was into sports, but he was just mainly football and he was Cowboys. So we weren't really a basketball watching family too much. We did watch the Rockets at times, but it was mainly football. With my dad, it was mainly Cowboys, and I like the Cowboys. So
that's kind of surprising. You growing up with your dad, a Cowboys fan, he ain't convert you over to a Cowboys fan.
No, I think it's a lot of that rebellious, I don't want to be my dad type thing as well. You don't want to be in the same things your dad is into, because me and my dad are very different. He's he's a kind of a musician. He plays piano and he didn't play sports, but he was very much into football and the Cowboys in the 90s. Okay. And I didn't like any of those things, so it's kind of, you want to be different from your dad and don't want to do the same things he did, or kind of want to rebel a little bit. But I did become a Texans fan. My uncle is I think he's been a Texans season ticket holder since the first season. And I went to some very early games. I want to say the first season I went to a game, and I've been going to games pretty much ever since. So I was a Texans fan from the beginning, but Cowboys, I couldn't rock with that, man.
Attaboy, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. One day, my dad, I think might have been a preseason game or something. We went to a Texans game, and my dad went in Cowboys gear.
Oh God, he was one of those.
Yes, He went in Cowboys gear, and the Cowboys lost. So the whole way back, we're walking back to the car, and everybody's laughing at him. I'm like, because they saying, "How about them Cowboys?" Yeah, it's talking shit. I'm like, damn, man. It's even worse because I'm like, Dad, you born and raised in Houston. So it's like, yeah, no excuse. He was not an Oilers fan at all. He was a Dallas Cowboys fan only. So
yeah, that's how it is in Cleveland. I never forget. I was a kid at the time, went to a Browns game, and this dude wore nothing but Pittsburgh Steelers shit. And mind you, this was a preseason game too, which is funny. They weren't even playing Pittsburgh. They were playing another random team. He just wore Pittsburgh Steelers shit. And I remember everybody was just booing him. Everybody, like, just imagine sitting in the crowd, everybody just turned around, boo, and he just stood up kind of like that. Like, yeah. They was sticking their middle fingers at him and all this. I'm a kid. I'm a kid. I'm like, what the fuck? And I want to say this was the year the Browns came back. So this was like 99. This was the first ever game. And he wore his fucking Pittsburgh Steelers shit to the first fucking game, man.
And they weren't playing the Steelers.
No.
That's the crazy part, man. That's just trolling just to troll. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just like, man, it's been years since the Browns been back. Like they moved away, now they back, and you come to the first game wearing Pittsburgh Steelers shit. So yeah, it's always people like that though, man.
That's too funny, man. Just
and I guarantee you, he wasn't from Pittsburgh. He probably born and raised in Cleveland.
That's usually how it goes, man. That's a crazy thing. So yeah, that's a damn shame. It's trolling just a troll. My mother is like I think she said the Steelers are like her secondary team, but she's been an Oilers fan. She was an Oilers fan pretty much the whole time while they were here. So yeah. Anything else, man? That might about do it for this week's edition. I know our last episode went super long, so maybe we should cut this at 2 hours. Spare some people.
Yeah.
I don't see anything else going on that we got to talk about, so we can go ahead and wrap this edition up.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, ain't no diss songs dropping. Trying to make sure
if it's Cardi versus whoever, I don't care.
Yeah,
call me when some real beef drops.
Man, I ain't sitting here about to break down no female beef.
Yes.
Over some bullshit.
I saw JT was going on a crusade calling Stephon Diggs gay and all this stuff. And some guy apparently has allegations against Stephon Diggs. And I'm like, yeah, okay, man, they got to deal with this. Oh, we didn't even talk about that. I got to bring that up real quick. In our Cardi B discussion, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Cardi B at the courthouse, who was very obviously pregnant and hiding it in those big ass trench coats. Well, she went on Gail King, her show on whatever the fuck Today's show. I don't know what show she's on, but she officially admitted that she is pregnant with Stephon Diggs' baby. So, already with the man who done ran through and got a lot of baby mamas. I think he has 3 expecting baby mothers, not including Cardi B, apparently.
Man.
And some guy asked him in the post game, and he acted like he didn't know what the fuck was going on. So, very funny how that shook out. But are you surprised? How do you feel about? I know it's weird to ask men how we feel about this, but do you have any thoughts on Cardi B getting seated up by Stephon Diggs of all people?
Yeah, I mean, when you say the backstory about how he got 3 others that's expecting, it's not really surprising, but I was surprised it kind of happened that quick because she's still technically married, which I think is hilarious because don't nobody bring that shit up. But they steady giving Clarissa Shields, who messing with Papoose. And they keep going down her fucking comments talking about, but you're messing with a married man. It's just like, man, come on. Like Papoose and fucking Remy Ma ain't together, man. Like they clearly ain't been together for a little bit. So I'm surprised ain't nobody just bringing that shit up. But I'm surprised it happened that quick like that, man. It feel like they just got together. So that was kind of shocking to me. And hell, if I ever became single, I don't know if I ever mess with Cardi B, man. It seems like she get pregnant by hugging her. That girl popping out kids, man.
Yeah. And look, I gotta be real too. I don't want to hear no Stephon Diggs was an asshole stories or Stephon Diggs ain't do. I don't want to hear all the shit she did with Offset. I don't want to hear that with Stephon Diggs because there's got to be a case where you have to know this nigga and what he's up to.
Yeah.
I mean, his own teammates. I know you've seen that clip. I think he was with when he was with the Vikings.
Yeah.
And they asked everybody on the team that they could find who on the team would you least want to date your sister. And everybody says Stephon Diggs. Everybody says Stephon Diggs. So it's been chronicled that he's a dog.
Yeah.
And if you choose a man like this to be the father of your kid, I'm not saying you deserve what's coming to you or whatever happens, but I don't want to hear the complaining because you're a grown ass woman. You can make your own decisions. You're rich. You should know you've had a lot of life experience, and you should know the constitution of a good man and if this nigga fits it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, Offset was one thing already, but this was Stephon Diggs. All right, how do you think it's going to end?
Yeah, to me, that kind of tell me how. To me, I feel like that says a lot about Cardi B, who is Cardi B as a person too. So you go for it's one thing, like she didn't even do the Sierra thing, where you go from Future and then you get somebody that's a very nice gentleman in Russell Wilson. Like you going from a ain't shit nigga to another ain't shit nigga. So clearly you have a certain type that you like. And he could be treating her well. I don't know, but just everything documented. It seemed like he's the same type of person, but probably got more fucking NFL money and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably cuter. I don't know. But yeah, man, like it's the same type of shit. So it tells me all about you. Like, so you are into these type of certain type of guys. You know, you see the chick that only talk to dudes who been to jail or criminals and guys that ain't really doing nothing in life, but they just keep talking to them. They ain't trying to switch it up. It seems like she's that type because I feel like Cardi B is well established enough where she could get a nicer a guy who's not an asshole or a guy that's not sleeping all over the place and multiple baby mamas. I feel like she could. I feel like she got to a point she could pull somebody like that. Pull somebody a little different. But I don't know. Maybe she can't. Maybe the people that act like kind of attract alike.
Yeah, stick to what you know, I guess. It kind of reminds me because a similar situation going on with Iggy Azalea. You know, Iggy Azalea had a kid with Playboy Cardi, and they've since broken up, and she's basically kind of putting out some allegations about him and how he's been abusive and the things he's done. And I think she's surprised that it hasn't gotten any traction, really. It's not really being talked about. And the reason is this, to me. You had a kid with a man named Playboy Cardi. And even looking at this dude and how he was moving before you met him, I don't see how you can look at this man and say, you know what? He's going to be a good father to my kid.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and make it happen. I don't understand these decisions. So I'm not going to say I have zero sympathy, but I have less of it than you would when a guy portrays himself to be nice and loving, and then you find out he's a dickhead secretly. These are people that you know. It's chronicled what type of person they are, and you still chose them to have a kid with. So
it's it's the same thing with like Sierra. Sierra, she got with Future. Future got a million different kids and baby mothers. So it's like, man, you thought you was different from all of them, or you thought you was gonna change them. And then, unfortunately, she really didn't do the crocodile tears, which I kind of like. I
She
like
don't really
how,
talk about him at all, to be fair.
yeah,
She don't talk about him at all.
yeah, she might shade him a little bit, but she happy. She got a whole family now. She got a family now. She kind of religious a little bit. Just it seemed like she just left that nigga in the dust. So I appreciate that part, but a lot of people don't act like that.
No, I 100% agree, man. It's I think it's just when you're alone and sad, you start thinking of the daddy ain't around, so I gotta shade him, I gotta say this. And I get it to an extent, but with the Playboy Cardi thing, I'm like, what'd you expect?
The thing is, I feel like women, I don't want to act like I'm talking for women, but I feel like women do it when they don't have anything around. If they had somebody else, then they don't give a shit. Clearly, Sierra don't give a shit. She like, I don't care. I change his last. I change him from your last name to my current husband last name. She do that type of shit. But when somebody like Iggy, who probably, I don't know if she dating somebody, but clearly, when you not involved with somebody else, you just gonna be, pointing the finger at your baby daddy all the time, and he did this, he did that. That type of shit gonna keep happening. So,
speaking of Sierra and her kid and her new husband might be on his way out the NFL, man. He's stunk it up for the Giants. He's been replaced with Jackson Dart.
Yeah, rookie
quarterback. I saw some clips of what he was doing on fourth down, man. I don't understand what the fuck he was looking at. He hit the goal post at one point. I'm like, yo. So, do you think it's over for old Russ? Dangerous?
Yeah, I think that's it, man. They gave my man 3 games.
Yeah,
and I know it's the Giants, and they've been struggling as of late, but nah, man, Pittsburgh went with an old ass Aaron Rodgers over Russell Wilson. Nah, I I think that's it, man. Yeah, that's it, and I feel like it's a case to be made that he ain't that good like that, man, because since he haven't been good since Seattle. And in Seattle, I think I saw Richard Sherman, and take that with a grain of salt because he was on that team and probably hate Russell Wilson. But he was pretty much saying that without the Legion of Boom, that defense and the run game, Russell ain't really been that good in the NFL, man. I think he might have pulled up some now, to be fair, he pulled up some win and loss records. That don't really say much, and that's not fair on the quarterback. But he's pretty much saying, like, man, if it wasn't for that defense the couple years and Marshawn Lynch in the run game and all that, he wasn't really that great. And it kind of showed towards the end of the Seattle time. Denver was a mess. Pittsburgh, he was all right, but it wasn't. You could tell he was clearly washed. So, yeah, man, I think it's over with, man.
Yeah, I think Richard Sherman, like you said, I take everything he says with a grain of salt because, in general, I think he's bitter about the Seahawks because they released him after he got hurt, and now he claims the 49ers harder than he claims the Seahawks, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's over for him. He can go home, be a happy family man with Sierra, and raise their little children and do whatever. But I think in the NFL is about it. It's about over. So
yeah.
Yep. No more Subway commercials. All that shit's over.
Bronco Nation, let's ride.
Let's ride. Dog, I saw the compilation. I don't know if it was outtakes of the shit he was doing for Subway. And it was just so cringeworthy, man. Like, ugh. I don't know. I guess, look, it's hope for all the square dudes like me that, hey, if you're good at one thing and can get rich off it, you can get anybody.
Yeah.
So just work on it, man. Just get your money up and the world is yours, no
Hey,
matter how corny you are.
salute the hey. I gotta give him credit. I know we don't give him credit like that, but you gotta give him credit for going after Sierra.
Yep.
Hey, he could have went after another white woman.
Mm-hmm.
He went after Sierra.
Yeah, hey, I can't knock it, man. I hope the best for them. They seem like a genuinely happy couple, so good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that about does it now. I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up. So, of course, appreciate everybody who dropped by for the podcast to listen and chime in. And if you're listening later on, we appreciate you as well. Make sure y'all check out our 300th episode we did last week if you haven't yet. Really fun time with Paul Gallant and our original co-host Jules. Make sure y'all tap into that.
Yeah,
if you haven't done it.
Subscribe too. And by the way, we had 300 subscribers right now.
Yeah, I'm cooling with my youngins. We spoke 100. Nigga, I'm 300.
So I think we started this YouTube page at what 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, this around the pandemic, and when we started actually doing video stuff. So yeah, I mean that's kind of I don't want to call it a shame because we haven't been plugging the YouTube like we should, trying to get it up there. But yeah, man, let's try to get to 1,000, man.
We got to go viral, man. Uncut takes on Charlie Kirk. Go. Biggie, you think you deserved it? Damn, that's crazy, dog. I'm just fucking with you.
Hey, let me pull up the video of him getting shot. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, we got to go viral at some point off some bullshit. But now, appreciate y'all for checking in. Make sure, of course, you tap into In the Loop, Sports Radio 610, 10 to 2, Figgy Figs. Figgy Figs mixtape. That's right. I almost forgot. My mind's going blank. Figgy Figs mixtape at 1:20 every day, Monday through Friday. Make sure you tap into that. And of course, we'll be back next week doing the same damn thing. So until then,